I'm not gonna lie to you guys, that was dark. Sicario. Sicario is the latest movie directed by Denis Villeneuve. The film stars Emily Blunt, Josh Brolin, and Benicio del Toro. The film tells the story of a young FBI agent played by Emily Blunt. Her character is hired by Josh Brolin and his team of law enforcement officers to help them track down key figures of a powerful and violent drug cartel in order to take that cartel out once and for all. Working with the law enforcement is this shadowy and mysterious figure played by Benicio del Toro, who seems to be working for no one exactly. And soon Emily Blunt's character not only witnesses the dark and twisted world of the drug cartel, but also the violent measures put into action in order to take these guys out. Now, I already told you, this movie was directed by Denis Villeneuve, and I'm a fan of that guy. Enemy was a fantastic movie that came out last year, and Prisoners, which came out in 2013, remains one of my all-time favorite crime thrillers. So naturally, I was very excited and anticipated. Luckily, this movie is incredible. Everything about this movie works flawlessly. First of all, let's talk about Emily Blunt. Emily Blunt gets better with every performance. Seriously, she never ceases to amaze me, and this just might be her best performance ever given. She plays this expert when it comes to tactical missions. However, when she stumbles upon the violence from within and from the outside for the very first time, her character breaks down. And we need a character like this because we, the audience, are led into the belly of a very ugly beast, and we need a character to address the fact that this is disgusting and horrible. Seriously, every single time she was like, ugh, I was like, ugh, as well, which is important. And it's really cool to see this confident young woman becoming more and more frustrated and disgusted. Josh Brolin gives another amazing performance. First time you meet the guy, you're like, whoa, that's a funny guy. He's like this wisecracking dude that walks around in flip-flops, almost a hippie, and you're like, man, is this the comedy relief? But then you see him in action, you're like, holy shit, this guy is dark. And even during the very dark segments, he keeps his humor up, and you're like, oh, this makes you a bit of a bastard. And we have to talk about Benicio del Toro. He is a ghost in this movie. There's this constant menace surrounding his character. He's a professional, but he's also extremely violent and mysterious. He is so badass, he would give Freddy Krueger himself nightmares. The cinematography in this movie is also terrific. Seriously, on a technical level, this movie is flawless. Thanks to Roger Deakins, who also did the cinematography on Prisoners. Seriously, normally I'm not that kind of guy that goes like, oh, this shot is very well framed. But in this case, I can't stop to notice them because this is a beautifully shot movie. Every single shot, every single frame is hypnotizing. The soundtrack is also really good because it adds so much more to the already dark and twisted atmosphere of the film. And the supporting cast shines as well. Emily Blunt's partner within the FBI, who isn't really allowed to work on the case, is like the one good thing she's got left. He was really good in the movie. Jon Bernthal from The Walking Dead is also in the film, and I'm glad that this guy is getting more work in Hollywood. He was already amazing in The Wolf of Wall Street, and he's really good in that film. He's not in it a lot, but you will remember the couple sequences with him. Victor Garber is also in the film, and he, in my opinion, is an extremely underrated actor. He was amazing on Alias, if you do remember that show. I do. And I'm glad to see him getting some work. I mean, he was in Argo, and now he's in this. I know he constantly plays the minor supporting role, but it's better than nothing. And now I do have to address the tone and the violence of the movie. You see a world that you might not even know existed to this extent of violence. There's this constant feel of dread and menace. It's like you're like, oh, I really want to be wrapped up in a blanket and drink a nice hot chocolate after this movie. It really reminded me of David Fincher's Seven, and that is the highest compliment I can give this film. It's not for everyone because some people will say, oh, this is gratuitously violent. But I'm like, no, actually it's not. I love the fact that Denis Villeneuve is so unapologetic about the darkness, about the violence. Because it isn't violence for the sake of being violent, like an Eli Roth torture porn. No, it actually adds so much more to the realism and to the atmosphere of the movie. And normally thrillers like that tend to drag on a little bit. I'm normally like, oh, this is like 15 minutes too long, 20 minutes too long. Luckily, in this movie, it's not the case. I was on the edge of my seat throughout the entire runtime of this film. Once you learn about Benicio del Toro's motivations, you're like, holy shit. This adds so much more layers to an already awesome film. So to sum it all up, we got great actors giving Oscar-worthy performances, who have great chemistry among one another, and who all stand out individually. A cinematography that is amazing and should result in Roger Deakins winning an Academy Award. And a really dark and twisted crime story that keeps you on the edge of your seat. Sicario definitely gets the gold medal. Honestly, folks, this is one of the best movies, if not the best movie I've seen all year. I will continue my Quentin Tarantino marathon within the next few days, but I had to give you this review first. Thank you guys, as always, for watching, and if you like what you see here and you want to see more, then just subscribe.